Yo, yo, welcome to the No Limit Podcast, also known as the Shirt with a Hole in It Podcast. Here with Any Bull and No Limit Eddie. What up?
What's going on, Ed? How are you?
I'm fine, but the last intro was way better.
Nah, dude. No.
Any Bull was doing some suspect shit because he didn't think we were going.
I just didn't know where to start, so I was making like dumb noises.
Now he wants it cut. But the camera's going to catch it.
It was an unprofessional intro.
The camera's going to catch it, and it will eventually go on a video called like No Limit Blooper Reel.
We should have a No Limit blooper reel by now. We have enough content. Like the last one we made, or last like compilation we made, like.
Yeah, we'll get one. Still don't have a best of season 2. Check out best of season 1.
Dude, I'm sick.
Why?
I have COVID.
All right.
I have COVID.
You'll get over it, I promise.
I've had COVID for like 8 days now. I think I got it last Monday.
Your eyes do kind of look like you got the suds.
Yeah, dude. I've been like blowing green mucus out of my nose like for the past few days. It's like I've been stuffy. Yeah, I got COVID. My lungs been hurting.
Sorry for giving that to you.
Yeah. Nah, when you had the suds, bro, you were out. You were down and out.
Mm-hmm.
You were down and out bad. You were like weren't answering texts and shit. Like you were like in a haze.
Sitting in my bed shivering.
Zombied. But yeah, other than me being sick as shit, I'm good.
So what are the topics tonight?
We're going to talk about Urban Meyer. And like the leave Britney alone, that's my stance on Urban Meyer right now. We got to leave my guy alone, all right? But we're going to get back
leave
to that.
Urban alone.
Leave him alone. No, so we're going to talk about Urban Meyer, my guy Urban Meyer, 0-4. We're going to talk about what comedians just aren't funny. Like, there's just some comedians that dead ass aren't funny. So we're talking about
and it is going to be a little opinionated, that topic. But
sure, yeah. But, like, we're going to have our reasons why. And I also have some comedians I want to shout out to that you should be following right now, that you should be listening to.
The obscure comedy knowledge, Any Bull, opens up a new chamber of his mind.
But I do like listen to like a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of stand-up comedy. I don't know. I just think it's cool. And last was Instagram. Instagram's out. Facebook's out. And now I don't want to go too much into it right now. We're gonna talk about like the outages. Because you told me some crazy shit about Facebook that I want to go into. So yeah.
So let's get into our boy Urban though.
Yeah, Urban Meyer, dude.
Urban Meyer, dude. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary for Urban Meyer is straight up player. Period.
Oscar Meyer Wiener. Certified. But yeah, dude, no. This dude's an NFL coach, right? He's brand new. He's an NFL coach.
Yeah, questionable choice.
In Jacksonville, Florida.
They're probably moving out of there soon.
Dude, all right, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's in Florida. We know Florida is like the... It's like the crazy epicenter of the U.S., right?
Yeah.
It's like...
Florida man, all that stereotype.
Like everyone knows that the stereotype of Florida is that it's insane. So he's a head coach in NFL. He goes out, and he's a decent-looking guy. He's not like he's not like Andy Reid.
I don't even know how old he is. He might even be somewhat young,
he's
like
50
40s.
Probably. Yeah, he's like not like whatever. So like it's not like unheard of that like young girls would like that's Urban Meyer.
Right.
Like there may be like some like they're like sports heads like some degree like they know that shit. So like oh my god it's Urban Meyer. Like come over here Urban. Like he's gonna fall into the trap. He's been having a few shots. Like you like he didn't do nothing crazy. At least that we know of. Right. Right. That all we saw was the video of him, like the girl, like dancing on him a little bit, whatever.
Right.
And like the selfie, and you can tell he's bombed, dude. You saw that selfie?
Yeah, he's crushed.
Like, bro, he's crushed.
But he's having a good time. Why is he not allowed to be crushed?
And that's
just because he's Urban Meyer.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about it because it's like, is it wrong of him, like in his position as an NFL head coach, to be seen in that light, or is it none of our business? That he's out there living a personal life.
So as far as that question, he actually would admit, and he thinks that he's wrong because I know that he apologized to Jacksonville, the team, because he became a distraction to the team. So he thinks he was wrong.
Correct. I understand that. Now, do you think that was a real apology, the one that we saw to the media? I'm sure he actually apologized to the team. He's like, yo, guys, I don't want to be a distraction.
Well, what did he say exactly to the media? I didn't see that.
You know how those apologies are so manufactured? Like, do you really think Urban Meyer really is sorry for that?
Yeah.
To the fans? No.
Hold the mic up.
He don't care. Nah, you can pick it up. I always hold it like down here.
Word.
Why the police send it now? You're being a boss today?
Yeah, that's right.
But,
get the fuck back on the topic right now.
Nah, what were you saying? Hey, you fucked me all up.
You were saying what he said to the media.
Oh, yeah, no, he definitely apologized to the team, like, for real. Like you said, I don't be a distraction. We don't even know how heartfelt it was. We don't know anything, right? We just saw a video. So, do you think that as a man, he's really like sorry to people like me and you that this no?
No, he's not
This
sorry
is
to
so
me or
blown
you.
out of proportion,
That's why I
dude.
said whatever he said. Okay, so if you're thinking that his apology to the media is kind of an apology to the masses, right? I wouldn't say that's sincere, but I think that his apology to his team, just knowing what the dynamic of a football team is kind of like, I think he was sincere in saying that he's sorry for being a distraction.
He's a good quality coach. He wants to run. No, he wants to run a good program. He's not like a dickhead coach. He's not he's about football.
That's a side quest on this story, but Urban Meyer is not a NFL coach. He's just not.
No, that's what they say.
Some
he's
guys
gonna go to
some guys handle children
and some
in a much better way than they can handle grown men, and Urban Meyer is one of those guys. Exactly.
Chip Kelly's a great example.
But
Jim Harbaugh went back to college.
What I gotta say about him is that, okay, one, he's at his bar. He went to his bar.
Yes.
He owns the bar.
Right.
And the thing that's coming out, there's two different things that are coming out, I think, involving the same female that people are talking about. The selfie that she took with him,
this is the
behind
blonde
her,
chick, right?
Yes. And someone else had a video where she's dancing on him. But what's funny is when I saw the video, exactly what happened is Urban Meyer sitting in his chair. It's a higher up chair, just like me and you are sitting right now. Mm-hmm. And the girl, as you or I know it, is grinding on him. She's literally backing her ass up into his groin area as he's sitting on the chair.
Right? I'll allow it.
From here on out, if we say the word grinding, it just means rubbing your ass against a dude's cock.
Right.
In some way, shape, or fashion on the dance floor at the bar. That's grinding.
You can do slow grind, fast grind, hard grind.
Yeah. That'll be a topic, different types of grinds.
But she's like.
But clearly she was being the aggressor. She was dancing on him, and the article said, and I quote, Urban Meyer caught leaning into a woman dancing near him in his Ohio bar. How much is that guy reaching?
But that's what the media does now. It's clickbait. They want to see that and be like, Urban Meyer did what? And then they click on the video like, he didn't do that. Or they're dumb as shit and they're like, oh my God, how could he?
The man didn't get up out of the chair.
I think his hands were on his knees.
He didn't get up out of the chair.
If his hands weren't folded in his lap, his hands were like on his knees.
Yeah.
He was sitting down. And this girl's like, and he looks like somebody who's caught up in an awkward situation. He doesn't look like somebody who's partying. He looks like he's like, I'm fucking up. This is bad. I gotta get out of this, but I don't want to be. But he's like an older guy. They think he's cool. He doesn't want to be like the uncool guy. And he said that I should have went home, but he was just like, they wanted to see me take a picture. It got a little out of hand. You can tell he feels awkward.
In the back of his mind, he might be willing to risk it all, though.
You think so?
In the back of his mind, a little shred thought, he might be willing to risk it all for this blonde.
I'm gonna go back to college, bro.
He might be. Not that he's gonna go back to college, but that he's gonna clap this blonde tonight and just fuck it. Whatever happens, happens.
Dude, he's Urban Meyer.
If he gets fired, he gets fired.
In his own bar.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everyone knows who he is.
The selfie she took with him, she put the caption, I don't know who this man is, he keeps trying to talk to me. Which, you're either dead lying or she was joking, which I think she was joking because you're in Urban Meyer's bar. That's Urban Meyer. You know him. And
hopefully she was joking.
And you're actively trying to grind on him. He's not trying to make any moves toward you. You're trying to be up on this dude because you know who he is. You know it's his bar. You know his clout.
Also, to play devil's advocate really quick, we also don't know what happened after that 6-second video. You know what I mean? We don't know. But from what it looks like a guy who was just got caught up in a bad situation really quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely did. And
I think it's blown out of proportion.
And he apologized to his team. He said he shouldn't have put himself in that circumstance. But did he really even put himself in that circumstance? Meyer. I don't think he did. I think he owns an establishment. Yeah. He went there to hang out, check it out. He used to be the coach in Ohio. He thought he was going to have a good time that night. And everything that happened that night is because of the girl making her effort to interact with Urban Meyer, not the other way around.
If we had an anti-beef board, I would put Urban Meyer number one right now.
Speaking of that,
no beef with Urban Meyer.
Before we jump over to the next one, the next topic, Tell everybody about Mike Knox one more time for the people who only watch the video. We were audio only last week, and we added an instant beef.
Yeah, so we added instant beef last week because we kind of went off on a tangent. We were talking about evolution. We went off on the. It started with the Edge and Lita sex celebration, and we both if you listen to the audio, it's I was listening to the drive home from work, and we literally say it at the exact same time. We're like, Kelly on the ECW debut, it's the same fucking time. But on ECW's debut, Kelly did a striptease. I think that was the end of the show. I think they did the whole show, and it was the main event, the cap the whole night off was Kelly striptease, right?
Right.
So she's doing the whole thing, and it's it went on for a little bit, and then Mike Knox, her boyfriend, just comes out with a towel the last second, and just wrecks everyone's boner.
Boner buster,
across
you called
the
it.
Nation. Everyone watching Raw is up to their TV. Or ECW is up to their TV. Nah, but yeah, Mike Knox, instant beef.
So that's how Mike Knox ended up on the instant beef board.
Fuck him.
Moving on.
Yeah, instant beef.
Second topic. These are some instant beefs in the second topic, but we won't be adding everyone to the board.
It gets heated on
We're going to talk about.
I don't think it will though.
Comedians who are not funny.
Yeah.
And let's first of all, let's say this. Let's make this a rule. If we agree on a comedian who's not funny and it gets heated that we despise him, he will go on the board.
It's got to get.
He
heated.
Or she will go on the board.
Heated. And now that it just.
But we both have to hate him. Yeah, she. You can start us off.
Now but you just said she.
Let me just say something.
No,
funny.
I don't think I can go out the gate with that one. I think I had to butter myself off first.
So I heard once that smart people they talk about business or they talk about something, and then the end of this little riddle or whatever it was that I saw on the internet or probably Facebook, which is non-existent. We'll get to it at the end. Is that dumb people talk about other people. And I just want to say, if that's true, then on this episode, we are the two dumbest motherfuckers that have ever existed. Because all we're doing is talking about other people.
I don't think that's
We've
true.
hit Urban Meyer, Mike Knox, and now we're about to trash some comedians.
For a business.
So why don't you give me your first one?
Joe Rogan. And I know, you're a Rogan head.
So you better say Joe Rogan only as a comedian. Because as a podcaster and everything else he does, he's amazing.
All right, so I started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, this must have been the year.
Are you about to hate on the podcast or his stand-up?
No. I would say 2011 I started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, right? So that's 10 years ago. And I enjoyed it. I also I wasn't a weekly listener either. I listened to most back then, right? But not even weekly. Now, the type of podcast he does, I just don't. I don't look to Joe Rogan to be that person. You know what I mean? I don't want I feel there's an episode with Tom Segura, and it's just them talking about the entertainment business and what they're doing, and they recap a UFC event. I'm cool with that. That's a decent podcast to me. But I don't want to hear Joe Rogan bring on Jim Brewer to talk about COVID-19 and I can't do all that. You know what I mean? So his podcast is fine. What I'm saying is it's not for me anymore. But his podcast is probably one of the best podcasts out there in terms of podcasts. He has a great program.
Yeah.
He gets high notable celebrities to go on the podcast and guest star. So he's able to draw, even if you're not a Joe Rogan fan, if you're a Kanye West fan,
you'll watch his episode with Kanye West.
Because you want to know about Kanye. You don't give a fuck about Joe Rogan, but you get a 3.5 hour Kanye West podcast. You know what I mean? So that's fine, right? But if you watch his stand-up comedy, I really encourage you right now, dead serious, if you're watching, go right now, go to Netflix and watch Joe Rogan's last comedy special. To watch the most recent one. Get 10 minutes in and then report back, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I think it's for 11-year-old dudes. Boys. I don't know. It's children humor. Have you ever watched it? Mm-hmm. Are you a fan of it?
I've seen some of his stand-up.
He's got he has one good bit that's super old about Brokeback
I'm not
Mountain.
a fan, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, back in back in his Fear Factor days, he had a bit that went kind of viral for that time, and it was a bit on Brokeback Mountain, and that was really good. It's saying they must have paid these dudes the house because they went for it. They're fucking on the tent. He was I'm high as giraffe pussy. I'm in the theater dude, what? Freaking out. And the way he did it, it's a good bit, but I don't know, dude. It's. I don't know, it's not for me. And I can't believe that he's still a well-regarded comedian. Like, what's the charade? Like, he's not funny.
I think that sometimes this is everybody in life, not just comedians. You get too high and think everything's funny. And that's the vibe I get from his comedy sometimes. Dude. That he gets too high and like just says anything and thinks it's funny, and that's where it lacks in real comedy.
I'm not even a person who
like
gets
how you
high
just
and,
said
like,
the thing
laughs.
about I'm high as giraffe pussy. Like that is just there's no analogy there. There's no did he really say that?
Nah, it's high as giraffe pussy. You know what I mean? Like it's high off the ground. Like I get the joke, but it's childish. It's like it's corny humor. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I don't.
And that's one
really...
of his best bits. You know what I mean? That's like that would be Louis C.K.'s worst bit. And that's Joe Rogan's best.
Louis C.K.'s way canceled, bro.
Louis C.K.'s not canceled in my eyes. I'm actually going to see Louis C.K. like November 3rd.
You're at the black market comedy shows because nobody talks about him anymore.
He's coming back. He's slowly working his way back.
He was jerking off in front of people. That dude's a creep.
But he asked them. It's a different story. I get it. It's weird. It's a weird
And they
thing.
said yes. I don't even know the story. They said yeah.
Yeah. Some allowed it. Yeah.
And some said no, and he still did it anyway.
Yeah, he was like, I guess you can leave.
Yeah, creepazoid.
Yeah, he's definitely a crime. Dude, if you look at him, he's a creep. But like, if you watch his shows, like he plays into it, he's like a fucking sick dude.
But he is funny.
He's hilarious.
Now
on the reverse, Louis C.K. is one of the funniest comedians. Now there's also comedians. I know you want to get into yours. This is quick. Like Theo Von. You know who Theo Von is, right?
You don't fuck with him?
I think Theo Von's funny, but his stand-up isn't.
Yeah, true. I didn't like his stand-up on Netflix.
Same thing.
But his podcast is good.
But he's just a funny speaker. He'll just make you laugh just telling you a simple story. If he told you a story about him going to 7-Eleven and getting a Gatorade, he'd make you laugh 3 times. Because that's just the way he talks. He describes shit with funny, you know what I mean? Crazy
that he was the mouth dude on One Tree Hill.
I don't even know what that means.
You know what One Tree Hill is, the show?
I know what the show is, but I don't look anything about it.
Theo Von was a character, an important character.
Oh, really?
But I do enjoy Theo Von's podcast. I don't
listen to it, but I see like
clips. I don't know if I checked out the comedy special because I knew he was at that point. I only knew him from One Tree Hill, so then I saw him. I was like, "This dude's doing comedy now. It's probably not good."
Nah, he's pretty funny, Theo Von, but I just like his stand up isn't for me. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people's stand up that's for me, and his isn't.
Yeah, certain people kill it with stand up. Like instead of being so negative, like Chris Rock. That's a fucking fire stand-up. Every stand-up I've ever seen from him.
And when you go see Chris Rock, it's like you're sitting in like Madison Square Garden. That's like a show. Like he's putting on a whole show. Like that's like a night out. You're gonna see Chris Rock. That's a way different spectrum of comedy.
A dude like that though, that a lot of people had hate for. I can't really speak on it myself. Dane Cook.
Dude, Dane Cook.
There's people that hate Dane Cook though.
Dude, he was gigantic, bro. He's probably the biggest comedian blow up wise of the last 20 years. Like since 2000, who were like just took off from stand up comedy, did all these movies, like just blew up, and then like fell off the face. And now he actually made a comeback now.
He did? I didn't even peek.
He's actually like ripped. It's like funny as shit. He's got like old man like ripped like strength.
I remember I watched a Dane Cook special on HBO way back when I was a young buck, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, when you're young, it was funny.
Which is why I was so astounded to find out that there's a community that hates Dane Cook.
Yeah,
that thinks he's the worst comedian that ever existed.
Because if you watch it under the lens of like how lame it is, like the way he moves on stage, it ruins it. It's just like this dude's so corny. Like you can't take yourself like and comedy's like that, bro. Like you can't take yourself out of some things.
Mine that I wanted to say is more of a person who does comedy sketches. So I said the word comedian, but I'm not talking necessarily stand up. Like you know who like Drewski is? A guy like that.
Yeah.
Makes those little videos.
I think
like
Drewski's hilarious.
Yeah, like he's funny. I enjoy his stuff.
Shout
out to another one, Lou Ratchet. A little lesser known one. You ever seen Lou Ratchet on YouTube? Bald dude. He's funny. Yeah. He has some good ones. But a dude like that I just can't stand. That is 0% funny. And also low-key, I feel like, because we've talked about a couple podcasts that have come out from people that are way more famous than us, but they just seem so similar, or like there's something in it that perfectly matches ours that you would think that they watched ours and like they were like, oh, that's a good idea, but let's just put two real faces on this. Because let's be honest, the Illinois podcast is fucking fire. But I want to talk about the dude Lil Sasquatch. He's not funny.
Why do you got beef with him?
He's just not funny. I'm just talking about he's not funny. His videos are not funny. The brand of comedy is it's like, you know the joke like we got at home? We got Kyle Mooney at home. That's who Lil Sasquatch is. You know who Kyle Mooney is?
No.
He was on SNL recently. So he came out, he started making these videos on YouTube. They were popular when we were in high school. And the brand of comedy was just very, I can't put the word on it. You literally have to watch the video to understand it. But I'll try to give an example. Where the comedy, I don't want to say dry, because I don't know if that's the right word. But for instance, one of his...
You're talking about his stand-up?
No, I'm talking about his sketches. So he made one where it was like something along the lines with like interacting with your roommate. And just the way that it plays out is very, I don't know, it's like nonchalant, where like the character who's doing the comedy, the role he plays is that like the character doesn't recognize that it's funny or that he looks weird, right? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like
subtle.
The writer, who's Kyle, knows it's going to be funny, but the performer, who's also Kyle, is supposed to act like he doesn't know it's funny. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what the dude Little Sasquatch does to me, but just in a way less funny, way more dumbed down. Obviously a copy, obviously a bite off of that. And I don't know how people... Honestly, what it is, though, is just
So you got funny off of Twitter or TikTok?
I don't even know. Like Twitter, TikTok, YouTube.
And
he's making his content. Now as a person, and that's what I want to say, too. As a person, I don't want to hate on him. Did you shut the sides off? As a person, I don't want to hate on him because, like, he's doing his thing. Like, he's making content and he's successful. Just for me personally, though, I don't find it funny at all. And that was our topic. So I just want to say that.
Went into his shit.
No disrespect to him personally, but the podcast he has, Son of a Boy Dad, it's a little just random. And I feel like that's what our brand is, random.
But what's his structure of the episodes? What's the episodic structure like?
There is no structure. They just talk about whatever.
They just talk bullshit.
And the name just makes me think like that it's complete random.
See, I like the fact that like we have a structure. Like there's a reason to tune in. There's a reason not to tune in. Like,
that's just my paranoia, though. I'm always thinking somebody's stealing my ideas. He has no clue who I am.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But yeah, the fact that we have a structured podcast is cool, I think.
Oh yeah, and if you guys want to know the other podcast,
there's so many podcasts that are just like random people. Just the
other podcast that we really think stole from us. Here's your hint. Last week's episode was What They Do, and that's what I'll leave it at. Last week's episode was What They Do, and their cover art is the exact same color as ours.
There you go. Facts. And it started after our podcast. Look it up. But yeah, so Little Sasquatch, huh? Now, I don't know enough
as far as like little skit creators, I don't fuck with them.
Who's a good skit guy?
The Barstool boys are gonna hate me for that. They're gonna fucking be like, oh my god.
Start beef with Barstool.
I don't want to say we have instant beef with them, but like to be honest, dog, like most of the stuff they do to me is cringy.
I like Big Cat. I'm a fan of Big Cat and Dave. I think that their sports shit's funny. But that's really what I looked at. Like, people are like people blow Dave Portnoy for everything. Like the pizza shit now that he's selling pizzas in Walmart and people are tweeting him.
To be honest with you,
dude, Dave, it's a 9.7. Like, dude, it's a fucking frozen pizza.
To be honest with you, I'm probably cutting this out because I don't want to miss up on any opportunities. But
nah, dude, I'm a fan of Dave Portnoy's, but like people like blow him for like being a god. Like his sports shit's funny. Like, and that's why he started Barstool, because it's like a sports thing. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the president. I don't want him to be. I don't think he wants to be.
He was.
Did you ever see the video of him getting blown on the yacht?
No. I won't be looking that up either.
Dude, it got leaked.
Hopefully not on Instagram, because you won't be able to find it.
Or Facebook.
Facebook's gone. Completely gone. It would be crazy if they never brought it back.
It's not possible. It'll be back. It'll be back in, what's today? Today's Monday. It'll be back.
I think it'll be back before midnight tonight. To be honest.
Yeah, it'll be back before midnight tonight.
I wonder, do you think they're going to have to pay? So for all you that live at the bottom of the fucking Red Sea, Facebook went down today, Monday, October what?
4th.
I don't know.
4th.
5th. Facebook is down, and early in the day they thought it was just down, but it actually is completely non-existent because someone hacked the data of Facebook and deleted a crucial part of what makes it happen.
Now, how true is that? Like, where'd you get that information from? That they deleted code?
I saw it was a picture. I don't remember the exact source, but it was on Twitter where I found it, and it was a picture of like the code that got deleted.
Now, imagine a world where Instagram and Facebook both just went down forever,
like we
never
said,
be used again.
Twitter would just become way more popular.
Twitter would just become crazy.
Twitter would immediately develop a feature that's called like picture mode, where you only go through pictures, just like Instagram. It would be that
There'd
simple.
be no other app at that point. Like, no other app would ever start.
Or something could pop up that is just a copy of Instagram.
Bro, because everybody might have an old Twitter, or they were on Twitter before. Everyone's familiar with Twitter. So, like, if they went to no social media today, I'll go on Twitter. I still need to catch up on something, and they need something right now. Where'd they go on Twitter? I need to catch up on the news somehow. I get all my news online. Boom, you're right on Twitter.
I was hoping that it was like a government test to see what people do and how they react when social medias get shut down, for potentially moving toward a future where there are certain days where Instagram, not everything, because you do need to get your news, like Twitter will still be up, Facebook will still be up, but on this Thursday coming up, Instagram's going to be down. You can't go on it.
I really do believe that they should get rid of Twitter entirely.
Why?
I just think that the world was better off without it. Instagram I don't have a problem with, because you're just posting pictures. Really, you can't go that nuts.
Yeah.
But and like, you don't follow, like, the way their algorithm's set up. Like Twitter, like, you can see like consistent tweets from people on your timeline. Like Instagram would like, you can't just post like 9 things and like you're gonna like keep seeing it on.
Twitter's like a public square where people just yell out things. If
it
wasn't on the internet, it would be people standing around just blurting random phrases out.
I don't know. I view it as a complete waste of brain power. Like, I feel like it really does dumb people down. Like, just reading headlines all day and not getting full scoops on anything or full stories. I think it just causes trouble. Like the Urban Meyer thing. That's a typical Twitter headline to get you to click a link on Twitter, because you're gonna say Urban Meyer was doing what? This some chick, and you're gonna click on it. Like, no, he wasn't. That's all it is. I just think it's bad. You're not getting the real story, because you might just scroll past and be like, wow, Urban Meyer, that guy's a piece of shit. Then you got this false idea of who Urban Meyer is. And you don't know anything, and that's how you go about your life now, with this false idea because you saw something on Twitter. You know what I mean? Instagram, you just see a fucking picture of me outside of Eagle Stadium, like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't hurt anybody in any way. It's just a dumb picture of me. You know what I mean? That's why Instagram's the best one. And you can promote shit. You can still promote shit.
Well, you can't get news as good on Instagram as you can on Twitter.
No, but don't you think that you would get enough news on Instagram?
Well,
you would get enough.
Also, you're forgetting about Facebook. If Instagram exists, then Facebook's going to exist because they own it. So you would get your news from Facebook, probably.
Facebook is even worse. Facebook should have been gone a long time
Somebody
ago.
said, Facebook's down. You can convince your uncle to get the vaccine.
Act while it's down. Nah, dude, Facebook has to go down. Facebook is a cesspool. Facebook is a cesspool of people who are just way past their time. You know what I mean? Like, their ideas are just shot out now.
Yeah, Facebook's average user age, I think, is over 30 at this point.
It's got to be.
Yeah, they're not for the youngins.
Nah, it's got to be for over 30. But I even think that, like, the Facebook lifestyle of, like, you know, people who have kids and then they post every single second of their kid's life on Facebook. Like, it'll go up, like, 46 pictures today uploaded, and it's like the kid, like, grabbing a water bottle, then, like, touching this, then Luke picked the marker up. You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, Luke said alphabet. Like that type of lifestyle is completely unhealthy. And I got instant beef for anybody who acts like that. Anybody who's all over Facebook, if you're all over Facebook, the people who go on there, like, just had a death in the family, like, please pray for us. Like, beat it. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's such a weird outlet. I don't know.
I hate to come at people.
So strange.
I hate to come at people like that, though, because they got just shit going on. That's why they're posting on Facebook about certain stuff that you shouldn't. But you're right, you shouldn't be.
But there's people who are like, I don't know anybody normal who does it. For being honest.
Well, there's people who do that, and then there's people who do that, and then there's people like you and people like me too that just get on there purposely to just go through that shit and see what stupid shit people are putting up.
That's exactly why I go on it. People share the dumbest things and just post dumb things. It's great. And I like how everybody on Instagram, like they post the best pictures of themselves, right? But if you're friends with them on Facebook and they get tagged in something their aunt put up, they're busted. And and there's no redeeming it. Everyone's got terrible pictures of themselves all over Facebook.
Somebody said Facebook was like the closest thing we've ever had to a time machine. Because you can go back and look at all your stuff. Dude, I mean, it's sort of... I see what they mean.
In a fit of teenage angst, when I lost all my weight, I deleted everything on my Facebook from when I was fat. So I tried to
do that a million times.
I'm so sick of it.
I tried to hide shit. It just doesn't work. Like
I've deleted everything. I swear,
the stuff on Facebook just comes back out the sewer.
I think my Facebook goes back as far as 2019. I've had it since 2008.
My Facebook goes way back. I think I'm still shaking my high school dude's hand while he's giving me my diploma.
I actually did just see a comment from you that said it was commented 10 years ago. Ain't that fucking
from
crazy?
Me?
Yeah. It said Edward Menner, 10 years, 10Y. Dude, if you really think about it, in 40...
That was 3 different universes ago.
In 40 years from now, we're going to look back on a comment that says 50 years, 50Y. That comment was posted 50 years ago.
That'll be in the archives by then.
Dude, that's unbelievable.
No, maybe we're not. What if it shuts down today? Facebook shuts down and it does come back, but everything's erased besides your name. It's just your name. You got to update all the information, the pictures, your date of birth, your phone number.
Straight reboot.
Everyone who's been doing what you said, uploading every minute to Facebook, would be sick.
Sick about it. They would lose everything.
Sick.
That's what they get.
Well, which one would you rather have come back? If only one could come back, Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram. That's not even close. That's not even close. Oh my God. I would actually...
for sake of the podcast,
I would get rid of Instagram. I would get rid of Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat, just to keep Instagram. I would get rid of every other social media only to keep Instagram. Instagram should be the only one.
You're a fucking addict.
Nah, but dude...
I'd give it all up. I'd sell my house for Instagram.
I just think it's the best one. I don't want to see... I just recently got back on Twitter. I came out of Twitter retirement. Because I was just all right, fuck it. I'll just have a Twitter again. Because it is good for news. And usually around football season, I have Twitter because it's so quick to update you on shit. But Instagram, you can go... What I like about Instagram is you can go on it in 3 seconds and get what you need to get and then get off of it. Twitter's a constant all day thing, and people are just dumb, and they're talking they're saying things on Twitter. You know what I mean? Instagram, it's just a picture. I'm not reading anything. You know, that's why I prefer it. The stories the stories at the top of your page are the people you want to click on anyway, and the people you don't care about are all the way in the back.
Oh, shout out to what I said the other day. Definitely true. When you do come back Instagram, make the stories last 10 hours. An Instagram story should not be up for 24 hours. There's no need for it to be up that long. 10
Nothing
hours.
Should be infinite.
Everyone who's going to view it or wants to is going to watch it in the first couple of hours. You'll get a few more people who trickle in, haven't been on there all day, whatever. But 24 hours is an insane amount of time.
I think that stories, if I put a story up, you should watch it and it should be gone. Unless I choose to post it on my page in the archives. You know how you have the on my page. You ever go on my page and see
so
it's
almost like a Snapchat.
But it's No Limit Volume 1, 2, 3. If I want to show those posts on my page, I'll save them there for you. But if you just go on my story and click it, you can't go back to it. You watch it, it's a one and done. Unless I choose to put it on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's how stories should work. It's just you saw it, and if you didn't pay attention, it's gone. That was my story. You missed it.
Instagram's definitely stealing that idea from you. You don't say good ideas like that out in public.
Just saying, bro.
Then they just take it.
That's never going to happen because they want people on the app. They don't want people off the app. I want to get on the app and off the app. They want people on the app and on the app and on the app. So my perfect
And I want the No Limit podcast on the map and on the map and on the map.
And dude, fucking shout out our Instagram pages. All fucking 3 of them. They're fire.
I know the weather like the Farmer's Almanac.
Oh, and shout out comedians. I wanted to shout out my boys Josh Potter and Shane Gillis. They're my two favorite comedians right now, and those are two fucking funny ass dudes.
Josh Potter and Shane Gillis.
Both No Limit. They're fun, and they're no, not Josh Potter. Shane Gillis is actually from Pennsylvania somewhere, like around here.
Yeah, can we get any of these dudes on the podcast?
No, they're way too famous.
Nah, they might get on.
Oh,
dude, we have fucking Sad Boo. Neither of them are as famous as Sad Boo.
Like these dudes are on the up and coming. Sad Boo's on the fucking downslope. My boy Sad Boo, I love you, but come on, you're in the twilight of your days. I mean, come on, let's not.
Don't fucking talk about him, man, like that.
Yeah, I love Sad Boo. I'm just saying, dude. I call a spade a spade.
All right, let's set up a match.
Me versus Sad Boo? I'll get my ass handed to me. I can't do that. He would throw me through a barbed wire table on fire. Dude, you hear that? That's horrible, dude.
Yeah, you gotta go home and clean that up.
Yeah, I got COVID. It's COVID-19.
What do you want to say to the fans before you go home, clean that up? We're gonna wrap this up.
Nothing. Really, I thought it was a good episode.
That was the loudest thing you said the whole podcast.
Really?
Yep.
I don't think so. I thought I was talking normal. Really? Now you got me tripping out. Now I got to get it. I'm sick.
Yeah, we're going to redo the whole thing.
Wow.
We didn't even start. I'm kidding.
All right, wrap it up.
Who you talking to? All right, everyone. That's been it for the No Limit Podcast. We're happy to be back on your televisions, in your cell phones.
Dude, this is only the fucking last 2 episodes or so in the studio.
Yeah, I was actually going to pack some stuff into that suitcase today, but you know what? We got a few more in here. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
It's coming down to the wire, though.
And we got something special for you when we switch up the set. So take a long look outside. Watch the traffic. Because it ain't always going to be there. And you never know what you got till it's gone. Facts. That's been it. No Limit Podcast, episode 48. Peace.
Love you.